What's going on, guys? CardMechanic here, and today I'm going to be teaching you the turnover pass. Let's do it. Alright, so let's break down how to do the turnover pass. This is actually one of the easier passes to do, and it's just as effective as any other pass. So we start off by having a spectator touch a card. Let's just say this one, the two of spades. Now you can control the two of spades to the top or bottom of the deck, but on my performance I did top, so let's just stick to top for now. If we have time at the end, I'll show you how to get it to the bottom as well. So you grab a pinky break under the card the spectator selected, and you square all those up, retaining your pinky break. Now, just in short, all you're really going to be doing is turning over the bottom packet and then turning over the top packet. So the two of spades would come right to the top. But of course, there's a way of doing this. There's some angles involved. So let's get into that. So now once the spectator's card is selected, let's say the jack of spades, you get the pinky break that we talked about earlier, square all these cards up. Now the angle you want to stick to is about, in this area right here. So you don't want to do straight up, because when you're flipping over these cards here, I'll talk about that in a second, you're going to be exposed. And over here, you'll be slightly exposed as well when you're turning these cards like this. So you want to keep it a little bit like this angle that I have here on my camera. So you're here. Now the way you want to start flipping over the bottom card from this is you lift up these cards a little bit like this. So you lift up right here. Once you lift up, you're going to start turning this packet over. And the way you do this is you take these three fingers you have here and you push down on this end of the card. So you push over like this, and now it's going to look like this. Right, so you're here, boom. You kind of going to need to straighten out your pointer finger to guide these cards. So that's all you're doing. You're going from here to here. It's kind of like opening a door, which this is like the door hinge. Right here, boom, just like this. Right, so it shouldn't really require a whole lot of me telling you do this. It should be fairly straightforward. The cards I have kind of resting on these parts of my finger, like this, and then I just press down, and then it goes, and also extend this finger out, so it goes forward. All right, that's pretty much all I'm going to cover for that, because that should be fairly straightforward. Now you're here, you do that, right? So you're here, and now you flip this top packet over, right? You're holding it like this, these three fingers in the front, the thumb in the back. You start flipping this over using your index finger here. You flip it over, and then you grab all the cards together and you pretty much straighten it out. Okay, now from a covered angle, this would just look like boom. We have the seven of hearts, get that pinky break right underneath. Boom. And now I usually, instead of turning these cards right here, because if you're turning right here, it's a little bit exposing, as you could see. Right, you can see a little bit of exposure right here. I actually move these cards back a little bit. So I move in this case I have my left hand here. I move my left hand back a little bit and then I start turning. Right, because if I move my hand back and start turning, you don't really see the cards moving anywhere. Right, turn so move this bit back, start turning, and then I also turn these cards, and then I square them all up. Now, one more thing you have to make sure of when you have this card here and you're flipping this over, you want to make sure you don't have any holes between your fingers here. You want to make sure they're closed tightly, because if you have holes here, they're going to clearly, let me see if I could actually get the holes there. They're going to see, what's going down, and you don't want that happening. So that's all there really is to it. Now, if you want to control the card to the bottom of the deck, right, instead of getting a pinky break below the card, you get the pinky break right above the card. Right, square that up as usual, and you pretty much just do the same move, right? And that is pretty much it. Now let's just get on to some tips, and that'll be it for the video. So first tip, again, remember the angle in which you're doing it at. If you're doing it at this angle, you have to be really careful, because chances are it is possible to, flash the turnover on the bottom. So if you're doing it, make sure you practice in front of a mirror first. But I highly recommend, if you're a little nervous about doing it, do it at this angle right here, what I'm showing you, where it's just like this, and it's pretty much all hidden. Now, of course, the main thing I forgot to mention, and this will be my second tip, it should look like you're just pretty much turning the entire deck over like this. So I highly recommend going in front of a mirror, seeing how exactly you turn a deck over when you're doing this. And when you're practicing this motion right here, you want to make it seem like, again, that you are in fact just turning these cards over like this, right? So that's how I'm turning the cards over here. And then when I'm doing it, again, I want to make sure that I'm turning the cards over about the same way. And again, focus on those angles, otherwise you're screwed. And again, last tip, just make sure to practice before, going out and actually doing it. Because if you're anything like me, I usually see something, I'm like, oh, let me go out and do it right now. And then I show it to one person, and they're like, oh, that's how you did it. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should have practiced that a bit more. So remember to always practice first in front of a mirror, see how you do it naturally, and then implement the pass similar to how you do it, without actually doing the pass. Right? So that is pretty much it for the turnover pass. So that pretty much wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to go check out my Patreon page to help support my channel and get some really cool perks while doing it. So I'll put the link to that in the description, and also in the description you'll see the link to all my social media, so go make sure to follow me on there for all my status updates. And all that being said, I will see you in the next video. Welcome to the end screen. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe, because subscribing is good. Thanks for watching.